Welcome to Ask All County, where you ask and we answer. Today we're going to talk about what the rental process looks like. Many of our clients ask us, what is the rental process? What we're going to do is give you a brief overview of all of the steps. We will do a series of videos that covers these steps in detail, but today we're just going to do a brief overview. So here's how we follow the rental process. We want to make sure that your home is rental ready. That means that the home is clean, it's painted, and it's ready for someone to move in. Once we get the green light, then we market your property. We list it on MLS, which is a multi-listing system for realtors. And then we also go to syndicated websites like My New Place, HotPads, and Zillow. This is where prospects can go to look at your property. This will ensure that your property is not vacant for too long. We look for 30 to 45 days if it's marketed right or priced right. The next thing that we want to do is we want to screen the tenants. We never want to put a tenant in the property that we have no clue who they are. So we'll do a thorough background check to make sure we're putting the right tenant in your property. Once we find the right tenant, now we're going to start collecting rents. If for whatever reason we do not collect the rents or the tenants stop paying rent, then we post notices. We also make sure to post notices if there are any violations or any issues in the property, and we want to make sure that the tenants are maintaining the property. Then, if for whatever reason we cannot get this tenant to comply, then we deal with the delinquency. That means we're going to post 3-day notices, and if we have to, we may have to pursue the eviction process. But we would handle that for you as well. And then the next step is that we handle 24/7 maintenance. If there should be any maintenance issues in the property, we will address them immediately. We'll hire licensed and insured vendors to make sure that the work is being completed and that there are no issues on the back end. If you're doing all of these, then you'll want to keep the tenant in place. But just to be sure, we'll do an inspection. We'll do a quarterly drive-by of the exterior to make sure that the property is being maintained. And every year we'll do an interior inspection to report back to make sure that the tenant is taking care of the property. If they're not taking care of the property, then it's probably not a good idea to re-rent. But that's why it's important to do this yearly. Once we do a thorough investigation on the property and make sure that it's being taken care of, then we'll renew the tenant, and then you'll have another happy tenant in your property for another year. So hopefully that helped you. That's the rental process. And remember, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email us at contact@allcountyppm, and in the subject line put in Ask All County, and you may be featured on the next episode of Ask All County, where you ask and we answer. Hopefully this was helpful.